Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss Book 1, Season 1 of Avatar The Last... No, not Avatar The Last Airbender, Avatar Legend of Korra. So, it's actually just called The Legend of Korra. They dropped the Avatar title in the beginning. So, this is 70 years-ish, 80 years-ish after our original gang of Team Avatar had come about, the ones we know and love from Book 1, 2, and 3, Water, Earth, and Fire. So this is called Air. So Avatar, the next Avatar is named Korra. She is a water tribe. So in the cycle, fire, air, water, earth, right? So if Roku was fire, well, technically if Kyoshi was earth, Roku was fire, Aang was air, next up is water. Korra is the water tribe, waterbender, who is the next Avatar. She was discovered as a young kid. She could already earthbend, she could already waterbend, she could already firebend, right? So she was just being trained by the White Lotus for many, many years. And so she's now, it's funny, we don't actually get like ages for our main characters. Late teens, early 20s. She's like a grown-up. She's not a kid like Aang was. She's just like a grown-up. So, yeah, late teens, early 20s. Korra is on a quest now to, not a true quest, but she has to get trained by Tenzin, who is Aang's oldest son, who is an airbender, to learn airbending. But Tenzin and his family live on Air Temple Island, which is associated with Republic City. So we actually just recently talked about the last comic book series, which was, where am I? Avatar Tales? Imbalance. Imbalance was all about getting that fish town to become the eventual metropolis of Republic City. I was talking about how cool it was to get a prequel to the origins of a city, and here it is in Legend of Korra as the gigantic metropolis that we know and love, that it took, many, many decades to come to. Our Team Avatar, our original Team Avatar, settled in Republic City, basically. Sokka was the chief. He was, a part of the council. Aang was just, he's doing his Avatar stuff. Katara was the world famous healer that she was. Toph, Beifong become the metal bender / chief of police, who then her daughter Lin is now the was the chief of police when we start out in Legend of Korra. So we get a lot of like backstory, but that's what's cool about it, is like it kind of feels like, like when certain stories are like really good, they just like start like right in the middle, and like you don't really need the beginning, but like you feel like you already know the beginning. That's what Legend of Korra feels like. Is like we already know the beginning, kind of, but like we get more backstory. So like, why do we keep getting flashbacks of Avatar Aang and his friends dealing with stuff in Republic City with this guy, Yakone, who turns out to be a bloodbender, and he doesn't need the full moon to bloodbend, which is pretty scary. So Korra makes new friends. She joins a pro-bending team called the Fire Ferrets. So we got Mako the Firebender, his brother Bolin the Earthbender. They become friends with Asami Sato, who is a non-bender. Her father's an inventor of Sato Industries. She has the power of this, electricity in her glove. But it's a matter of, Korra likes Mako likes Asami after she almost kills him with her car. And then like, it's the little love triangle going on in the first season. Scandalous stuff happens later on. We'll get to that from what I remember. But it's very Republic City based. We're in the Southern Mortar Tribe, and we're in Republic City. You got General Iroh, who is a descendant of Zuko, voiced by the same exact, what's his name? Something Bosco? I can't remember his name. It's the same voice actor who did Zuko in Avatar The Last Airbender. So he voices General Iroh as well, which is pretty interesting. But then we also get introduced to Bumi, who is Aang and Katara's youngest son, who is a non-bender. He's just a general of an army. So what's the villain? What's the problem? What's the antagonistic plot of this 12-episode season? This goes quick. There's no like subplots. It's just straight plot. With Avatar The Last Airbender, we have our sub-stories, we have our, fluff things here and there. Not really relevant to the plot, but like fun. This is just straight plot. There's no like side adventures, which I actually really like. I remember in 2012 this was a week to week thing, and you had to watch it week to week. So me and my brother and our friends, we would always get together and watch it, and it was just a grand old time. So, when I watched it in 2012 live, and then 2013, 2014, when all 4 seasons aired, I remember I didn't like Korra. And that's just because the fanboy of me was Team Aang. But the more I watched the show, because I've watched this show many times, the more I read the comics, the more I realized how strong of a character Korra is. And I feel like an idiot that 10 years ago, wow, 10 years ago, yeah, April 2012 is when the first season aired. So April, literally 2 months from now, is the 10th anniversary. 10 years! I'm so old, bro. It's frightening how fast time's going. And my mind's rambling, but that's how these things happen. Anyway, 10 years ago, I didn't like Korra. She whined too much. She was just annoying, but I was Team Aang. Now I feel like an idiot because now that I've studied story and character development over the course of a decade, I realized she's an incredibly written character because she's a grown-up. She's a young adult who is dealing with life from an adult perspective. Not a kid, not a 12-year-old avatar. She is a 20-something-year-old avatar doing some stuff. And there's time jumps in this show, which we'll get into eventually as seasons progress. Incredible. It's a different take. It's a different feel. It feels more adult. The whole murder at the end was just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. So, antagonistic plot. You got Yakon's two sons, Noatuk and Tarlok, infiltrating Republic City, if you will. And Tarlok he's a waterbender. He's on the council. And there's this guy running around, Amon, who's in charge of the Equalists, who's like, down with the benders, we're going to take away all the benders bending because we all need to be equal, which is interesting because that was a plot point within Imbalance for the comic series 70-something years prior to the plot points of this Republic City now. I get it. People need to be treated equally. People need to be treated fairly. You can't favorite one group of people over the next. But Amon took it to an extreme. He literally would capture people, and Tarlok would capture non-benders as well. So it was just capturing on left and right, and then eventually as the plot thickens and Tarlok figures out that Amon's actually his brother Noatuk, and they were both forced to be taught bloodbending from their father, who escaped Republic City after Aang took away his powers, took away his bending in the Avatar state. So it's a matter of, just because you can bloodbend doesn't mean you're the most powerful bender, because you're always going to be second compared to the Avatar. It's just how it works. Korra is still struggling with learning to airbend, gets her bending taken away from Amon. And so she's just devastated. She is depressed. She's distraught. It's just gone. And then all of a sudden she unlocks, in her deepest point, she unlocks airbending. So she can airbend. So she defeats Amon. She reveals to everyone, all his followers, that he's actually a waterbender who can waterbend. He escapes with his brother Noatuk. Noatuk takes an electric glove, puts it over a gas tank on a boat, and they explode. And bro, when we saw this, I think the finale was like June 2012. There was a bunch of us sitting in our parents' living room. We all were like, "What? This is a kid's show." But it's not a kid's show. This is an adult show. It's very poignant on adult matters when it comes to this kind of stuff. What do you do? What do you do? What would you do in these situations? Like, man, the fighting was just great, and pro bending was incredible. But it's a matter of how far of an extreme will someone go to make a point for equality. And it makes you question who was in the right, who was in the wrong, who should have done this, who should have done that, what would you have done, what would you have not done. Very interesting. It's a conversation piece. 12 episodes of a conversation piece for an incredibly written show. Beautiful. I loved the end when Korra gets to face Aang, and he says, in our lowest point, that's when in our deepest, that's when we unlock change, or I can't remember the quote. It's a beautiful quote. He says it one time, I get chills and choked up every time I hear it, and I can't remember it, and I feel like an idiot. But that's when she realizes that she can bring back the bending in the Avatar state. She brings back all 4 elements. She now has all 4 elements. She is the Avatar. She brings back Lin Beifeng's bending, so she can metal bend again, and it's earthbend, obviously. And then it's a matter of Tenzin saying, welcome back Avatar, and we get a beautiful shot of Korra just smiling, and she is the Avatar. What next? What's next? We got the four elements. We defeated Amon, who's really Noatuk, who's really a bloodbender in disguise, pretending he's not a bender. What next? And that's what's cool about Korra, is that now we jump to the spirit world, and now we do other stuff. Not so much spirit stuff on Aang's side, but on Korra's side, we get a lot more spirit stuff, and it's awesome. I've seen season 2 the most out of all 4, to be completely honest. Season 2 is awesome, especially Varric coming into the picture with Zhu Li. Oh my god, love Zhu Li. She is awesome. Zhu Li Moon, the incredible president of Republic City, the future president of Republic City. We will get into that. So, Avatar The Last Airbender. What an incredible, incredible first book. Book 1 air. We did it. On to the next one. Mucho mahalo.